Over the past 31 years, I've had the joy of traveling repeatedly to many corners of this vast subcontinent that is India. It is amazing to see how landscapes, culture, food, music, dances, and even languages change every few hundred kilometers that you drive. You see the highest mountains of the world, great seas, bountiful rivers, and best of all, a people whose thoughts and heritage go back a few thousand years. Join us on an enthralling journey. I am traveling again across the whole of India to bring you spectacular India. This first film will take you to a magical land. We will go across the great Himalayas to the high-altitude cold deserts of Ladakh and Spiti. Here the oxygen is scarce in the air and we have to lie down for at least a day to allow our bodies to acclimatize. We will go to the land of the dance of liberation of the lamas. Ladakh, the land of high mountain passes, is nestled between the tallest mountains of the world, the Himalayas and the Karakoram range. Here, eternity is never beyond the vision of man. The Buddhist faith arrived here in ancient times. It brought with it belief in the harmony of the whole of creation. The belief that the transitory world around is an illusion called samsara. We must lift the veils of this illusion to see the truth beyond, the truth of our oneness with all that there is.
Life is difficult in the high-altitude deserts. The Buddhist faith imbues the lives of the people here with patience and understanding, with a vision which is born out of the love of all of creation, a vision which always looks to the eternal. These are lives which are touched in every moment by the sacred. In a life which is constantly imbued with the consciousness of the eternal, the gompas or monasteries play an essential part. These are in fact the centers of all village activity. The lamas are deeply respected and loved. Prayers are a constant refrain in everyday life. The gentle traditions of Buddhism are continued by the people of Ladakh till today. Their prayer wheels are meant to unite the body, mind and words in harmonious prayer. Mantras, or sacred chants, are written on scrolls of paper which are inside the prayer wheels. Prayers are also recited while turning the wheel. Thus the faithful remain fully absorbed in thoughts and deeds related to that which is beyond. Buddhists in these mountain regions also write their prayers upon flags which flutter in the breeze. They believe that the offerings of their prayers are taken by the wind and spread throughout the world. Chortans or stupas guard the entrances to the villages, and dot the Himalayan landscape. They remind us that the land is truly blessed by the prayers and deeds of the faithful over the years. The Spiti Valley in Himachal Pradesh presents a vast and majestic landscape. It has azure blue skies, mountains of unimaginable hues, and bushes of sia, wild roses that fill the air with their fragrance. The high mountain passes which connect this valley to the rest of the world remain snowbound for half the year. As one can imagine, life is extremely hard. The culture of this region is steeped in the compassion of the Buddhist faith. In ancient times, the people of Tibet and the Indian Himalayas lived in fear of evil spirits, who they believed resided in the mountains and in the winds. This fear prevented them from accepting the compassionate message of Buddhism. Guru Padmasambhava was known to be a great master of Tantric Buddhism. He had studied at the renowned Nalanda University in eastern India, where he had imbibed deep knowledge of Tantric philosophy and rituals. The great Guru swept across the entire mountainous region, through Ladakh, Kinnaur, Lahaul-Spiti, Tibet, Nepal and Arunachal Pradesh, establishing Buddhism everywhere. He used the greater magic of his tantras to subdue the feared demons. He made them defenders of the Buddhist faith. Till today, he remains the most revered deity of the entire Himalayan region. Padmasambhava brought with him the cham, or ritual dance. With this, he scared away negative forces and prepared the mountainous region for Buddhism. When he consecrated the first great monastery of Tibet at Samye, it is believed that he rose up into the air to dance. Where his shadow fell, the land was made pure, and this became the boundary for the sacred space of the monastery. Till today, the cham is performed across the mountains to keep the land blessed for Buddhism to prosper.
The word cham is a very difficult word. It is not translated properly so far, I believe. And there must be an equivalent word for cham in Sanskrit. You believe that through these ritual dances, with meditation, with concentration, and with visualizations, and with good motivations, then you can remove many obstacles that you may face.
The monasteries each have their own dates for the celebration of the cham. The festival is usually held over a period of 2 days, once a year. Chosen monks of the monastery perform the sacred ritual. People gather from all the villages around for the cham.
We are here at the Hemis Monastery, about 32 kilometers south of Leh in Ladakh. This monastery celebrates the birthday of the great Guru Padmasambhava. The lamas celebrate with 2 days of the cham dance, the monastic dance of the lamas. The dance celebrates the victory of good over evil. It celebrates the achievements and the magic of Guru Padmasambhava. We see him in his 8 different manifestations as he subdues evil, the evil which had haunted the minds of the people of Tibet.
तांत्रिक में खुद को उसको विचार करके देवता के रूप में प्रकट होना पड़ता है, वो विचार रखना होता है। दूसरे धर्म और बौद्ध धर्म में अंतर यही है, तो दूसरे धर्मों में देवता का किसी का भी विचार करेगा, उसकी पूजा करेगा, साधना करेगा, लेकिन हम उस देवता को खुद नहीं बन सकता है। बुद्धिज़्म में जो भी प्राणी है, आप है, मैं है, या जो भी है, आस्ते आस्ते हम भी बुद्धत्व प्राप्त कर सकता है।
The Cham dance of the Lamas signifies the victory of knowledge over ignorance. In Buddhist thought, the greatest evil is the ego. It is that sense of the self which is the greatest illusion that we must lose in order to gain true knowledge. We are in the key monastery, which is high atop a towering hill in the heart of Spiti. Here the Cham is performed on a summer's day. The Lamas spend many days in preparation for the Cham. They have each selected a deity who they will be, and they meditate. They meditate to lose their own identity and to become that deity. For on the day of the Cham, it is not the Lamas who will dance, but the deities who will be on the sacred ground.
अभी तो ऐसे कि लोग ये कि फंक्शन में ऐसे ही तमाशा के रूप में देखता है, वो एक्चुअली ऐसा नहीं है। वो देखने वाला भी एक देवता के दर्शन कर रहा हूँ करके देखना चाहिए। डांस करने वाले लामाओं में भी करुणा का, देवता का विचार रखना चाहिए असली तो।
Ancient knowledge is passed down through the generations. Young Lamas are trained by teachers using texts that are sanctified by time. As the Lamas rehearse, the child monks watch intently. By the time it is their turn to wear the masks, they would already be familiar with the dance movements. The day before the Cham, the monks pray to gather their spiritual powers for the sacred dance. These prayers are imbued with deep tantric meaning. Symbolic weapons are used to subdue malevolent deities. In Vajrayana Buddhism, evil is not something outside of ourselves. It is our own ego, our attachment to the illusory world around. It is this evil within us which is subdued and transformed through the prayers and finally through the experience of the Cham. I am in the sacred storeroom of the key monastery with Lamaji Tenzing. The costumes and masks for the Cham are stored here. These masks are very important, for on the sacred ground it is not the individuals, the Lamas, who will dance. They have to forget themselves, they have to obliterate their own personalities to become the deity. So it is the deity who will dance.
Actually, all the deities you find in Tantrayana, they are form of different wisdoms, you know, like compassion, the power. So all these qualities of Buddhas appeared in different forms, and then that is easier for practitioners to visualize.
उनके जो कपड़े जो है वो पहनेंगे पहले, तो पूरा वो जो मास्क लगा के, तो हम सोचे इनकी हम उसको फील करेंगे कि वो हमारे हृदय में प्रवेश कर चुका है। पूजा हम रोज़ यहाँ पर 7 दिन पूरा पूजा करते हैं, तो पूजा करके और ये भी मानते हैं कि हमारे जो मन में जो पहले जो गलत सोच हो वगैरह वगैरह ऐसे ही चले गए हैं, साफ़ हो गए हैं। खुद को पहले उसके काबिल बनाना पड़ता है अंतर मुझे जाप के, ये पूरा मानना पड़ता है कि ये जा चुका है, हमारे मन में कोई भी वो पाप नहीं है, कोई हम पूरी तरह सच हैं, तब हम इसको लेकर डांस करते हैं।
Today, on the day of the Cham, these are the last few personal moments that the Lamajis have before they surrender their personalities completely to be the deities who will dance upon the ground and shower blessings upon the whole universe.
The Cham begins in the morning with the appearance of Lalung Paldor. In the 9th century, King Langdharma had persecuted Buddhists. The monk Lalung Paldor, disguised as a black hat dancer, came close to the king and killed him with an arrow. The event is celebrated in all the monasteries of the Trans-Himalayas as the majestic Black Hat Dance. The masks cover the ordinary day-to-day nature of the men and present instead qualities of the deities within them. There are peaceful masks and those with wrathful expressions. Finally, both symbolize the emptiness of the ultimate nature of all appearances.
A Cham, its literary meaning in Cham means to stroll. It is believed then Shakyamuni Buddha, when under the people tree, when he got awakening, after that he knew it, what is the true nature of this universe, and then he realized, okay, how I can tell it to the people. So he woke up and started thinking, now whom I should tell it, how I should experience, I should share these things. So he was strolling, while thinking, and this was not already strolling, So each step he was thinking, meditating, and trying to contemplate, making his thought more concrete, more sharpening it. So this is the beginning of the Cham. So it is a meditative movements, well choreographed, if you want to say like that. So well choreographed. For the common people, it looked like a dance, but the person who does it, he has to undergo a tremendous kind of a meditative process, and he has to transform himself into a deity.
All sounds in the Cham are sacred mantras. The drum is a reminder of the deep sound that resounded at the beginning of creation. It also sounded at the moment of the Buddha's enlightenment. It proclaimed the victory of wisdom over the darkness of ignorance. Music is presented as an offering to the divine. It elevates the mind to a deeply contemplative state, freeing it from the bindings of the mundane world. For the eternal moment of the Cham, earthly reality is suspended, desires and suffering forgotten, as the deities dance, blessing every being. Vajrayana Buddhist thought has the clarity and indestructible nature of a diamond, as well as the striking nature of a thunderbolt. Its purpose is to free us and to dispel the veils of ignorance with the force of a clap of thunder. The meditating monks perceive an inner reality, far more true than the illusion of the material world around. The linga, or symbol, represents our ego. Finally, it is dismembered and cut into many pieces with the dagger of wisdom. Once the linga, our ego, is destroyed, true consciousness is liberated. Men, women and children gather at the monastery from villages near and far. For these deeply devout Buddhists, the sacred performance allows them to be in the presence of the deities they worship. The Turma is considered to be the abode of Yama. In the days of the prayers, all negative forces within us are sent to the Turma. The faith of the people is profound. Here at the key monastery, they lie under the feet of the passing monks. They yearn for the touch of the robes of the deities. They believe that this will bless them. At the culmination of the Cham, the Turma is taken out of the monastery to a remote place. Here, it is thrown away by the lamas.
But sometimes some monks who are practicing Dharma seriously, they can come in that kind of form and so forth, but it has become very rare. Because of this degenerate time, because the people's faith in spirituality or people's faith in Dharma has tremendously reduced. The times have changed and it's changing, of course. And that's why we call this time is degenerating, what we call Kalyug.
लामा के विचार में देवताओं का करुणा का जितना उसका विचार होना चाहिए। मेरे कहने का मतलब ऐसा है। वो कितना रख पाता है वो लामाओं को निर्भर करेगा। ये रख सकता है नहीं सकता मैं गारंटी नहीं कह सकता हूँ, क्योंकि अभी थोड़ा ज़माना थोड़ा कलयुग आ रहा है ना।
This is the land made pure by Guru Padmasambhava of the Nalanda University more than 1,000 years ago. The search for the emancipation of the self continues till today. It is the desire to rise above the attachments and the illusions of the material world. A search of which the Cham is an ultimate expression.